name's Chris Whitford, and I'm today talking for SFFMU and SFMA. I'm going to be talking to the Great Escape hobby manager, Mark Batson, talking a little bit about what he's done as a model builder, at the same time talking about some trends and what he thinks on certain subjects. Alright, we're back, and I'm sitting here with Mark Batson, the hobby manager of the Great Escape, Spartanburg, South Carolina. And we're going to first talk about a little bit of his career and his accomplishments as a model builder. Mark, first off, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us.
Glad to, Chris. Glad to.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you build and some of your accomplishments as a model builder?
Well, I have been building since I was 7 years old. My dad was actually a model builder and a hot rodder back in the 50s and 60s. So the first model cars I ever had were model cars. The biggest portion of what I have built have been model cars, but I build everything. I think over the years there's not really anything from figures, tanks, aircraft, science fiction that I haven't built. In fact, what I'm working on right now is a unique project. It's an NCIS crime scene van that will have 26 working strobe lights all over it, and I hope I don't put anybody into a seizure with that. And the other thing I've got on the workbench is a 1/144th scale Warp Ship 1, the Phoenix.
Ooh.
And I'm having a lot of fun with that too. Really a lot of fun.
Well, take a minute. Let's talk about the Phoenix for a minute, since most of our viewers are sci-fi modelers. They probably would like to hear a little bit about the Phoenix.
This kit is a really good kit, 1/144th scale, so it's a decent size. I'm going to be using a lot of the all-clad metal colors to give it some contrast and stuff like that. And the great thing with sci-fi stuff is you can use a lot of your own imagination and do your own thing too. And so far, just cleaning it up has actually been fun, and that's usually the hardest part of any kit, no matter what you open, is just cleaning it up a little bit. But this has been a delight. It's been a really good kit, and I look forward to seeing it finished myself.
That's good. Now, are you planning to do any lighting with this kit?
With this one, not really. You shouldn't tempt me like that, but I haven't really thought about this one. A lot of times when I do build a model, I'll build two of them. I'll build one out of box to get a feel for just how the kit goes together.
Right.
And then if I'm going to make any adjustments to a detailed version of it, then I do that a lot with some of the model cars that I've built too.
And speaking of your model cars, you've got several on display. We'll get to and showing. But let's talk first about the one that's really given you the most acclaim would be the Days of Thunder car.
The Days of Thunder car, the David Pearson car in 2004, I was privileged to go to Toledo, Ohio to the NNL Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
And actually won Best of Show, won the national championship there, which was quite an honor. I was told that was the first stock car that's ever won the Nationals.
Wow.
So that's a very humbling experience. And the Days of Thunder car, yeah, that one has been a lot of love and a lot of research went into it. You know, it doesn't matter what the project is you're working on. For me, research is part of the fun, because when you're researching stuff, you start to discover things that you didn't know about a project, and that gets those creative juices flowing as to, now how can I recreate this and make it visible, make it something that highlights the model a little more. So for me, I think research is a lot of fun too. And then the challenge, like I said, of getting those creative juices going to make it come together.
Oh yeah, definitely. Working on several models myself, that the creative juices kind of get flowing with the research that you've done,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it's like you said, I mean, you're winning national NNL. You said it was a very big honor, and I can imagine so. What would you say with that particular model was the one that just put it over the top in your mind?
Well, I try to make each part, and it doesn't matter what the subject is, whether it's a car, whether it's a sci-fi project, whether it's an airplane, a piece of armor, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make each piece basically a model by itself.
Right.
For example, on the Days of Thunder car that you mentioned, I had to kind of sit back one day. I started counting the parts that I'd put in just the little carburetor that I built for it. And as I examined that, I looked and I thought, oh my word, I must have lost my mind. I've got 21 individual pieces in this carburetor. And of course, we're looking at a part that's just this big. But boy, was it fun. And then I look back on, like I said, how many pieces are in it. I'm thinking I must have lost my mind. But little things like that, there are a lot of challenges. But when you get it all together, it's a rewarding feeling. It really is.
Well, let's move on to the hobby shop and your position as a hobby manager here. What seems to be the trends that you see nowadays in hobbies, especially in plastic models?
In plastics, there's a lot of great kits that are out right now. You've got the Polar Lights Star Trek kits. You've got, and of course, Star Trek is one of my big things going back to my childhood. And of course, the Star Wars stuff, the Battlestar Galactica. There's just so many great kits coming out. When it comes to figures, you've got Polar Lights coming out with a new Superman figure. You've got, of course, the Iron Man figures. You've got some of the old stuff that's being reissued too. So there's a lot of great stuff there. As far as the trends go, just like IPMS has always said, the model car industry is the largest and oldest part of plastic modeling, so it's still real big. And of course, you still got young people that love hot rods and cars and all that kind of stuff too. But with that being said, we do equal or in some cases even better in military and sci-fi. Military aircraft is probably in the military stuff at the top, and then armor and ships like that. Ships, there's some great stuff in ships coming out too. But as far as the trends go, we see, because of the IPMS clubs and the state clubs, we do really great in about every aspect of it.
Okay. Now, over the years, you hear a lot of the mom and pop shops folding up. What is your opinions on that, and how do you see that affecting the future?
Well, we're a 40-plus year old, almost going on a 41-year-old company. And we've been around a long time, so we have some, a lot of people know about us. However, you have a lot of younger companies that just aren't making it because they're having to compete with the online companies. Sometimes these online companies and distributors that are also selling buy in such volume that they're able to reduce the prices and all that stuff considerably. So the local hobby shops are really getting hit there a little bit. But I'm one of those people that would rather have the local hobby shop because I like to, this is going to sound a little gross, Chris, but I'm like one of those people that I like to touch it, see it, feel it, taste it, lick it, whatever you want to call it. I want to physically see what I'm buying.
Exactly.
And a lot of times when you deal with online companies, you don't have that luxury. That, to me, that's a little bit of a turnoff. On the other hand, again, you do have to take into consideration the online companies don't have overhead to pay the power bill, employees, utilities, and rent, or things like that. We're fortunate enough that we own our buildings and property.
Okay.
But of course, we still have the overhead and all the other stuff. And to stay competitive with the online companies, of course, we have to reduce our prices, which reduces the bottom line. So it is very difficult. In fact, we were told that last year, actually I believe it was 2012, in about a 7-state area of the Southeast, there were 23 of the mom and pop local type hobby shops that actually went out of business, closed their doors for the last time because they just couldn't make the ends meet. And of course, the economy has a lot to do with these things too sometimes.
Oh yes, definitely. Now, let's change the subject and talk about a little bit about modeling forums. As you know, what we're talking about will be on a modeling forum in Google Plus communities. What do you think about those?
I think they're great. I'm a member of several myself. I like to, number one, it's amazing when you get a group of guys in a forum that share together. Now, I've been modeling, like I said, since I was 7 years old. So I've been in the hobby over 50, pushing 60 years. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, yes, I am that old. But in all of that time, I'll tell you in a heartbeat, I don't know everything. And it's amazing when we get online, you get into a forum and you start looking at stuff and you see stuff that just, you're in awe of it. Mm-hmm. And the great thing is, most of these guys on the forum, in fact, I've met very few that aren't. When you ask, hey, how did you do this? This is great. And they'll give you the technique that they used, and it's something simple. And I don't mind sharing anything that people ask me about either. In fact, I think the forums are a great thing for the hobby. And as I said, it's something that it helps us share our projects. If you have a question about a particular, hey, does anybody know the particular color of this particular part of a ship or a car or whatever? They can give you that information.
Definitely. Our forums over at SFMA and our community on SFFMU, a lot of that's been going on with the weekly Wednesday night hack nights and things of that sort. Mm-hmm. A lot more people were coming in and seeing that, that sharing that's going around and the sharing of projects and things of that nature. So I agree with you. It's a very much, don't really know how to put it, but it very much shows the nature of the sharing of the modeling community.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I look at it like this too. Kind of, in a way, we're a big club.
Yeah.
I've met friends on the forums that when I get to a major contest, there's some of the forums actually will have a name tag with their screen name on it. Mm-hmm. So you can identify them and you get to physically meet these guys and develop a personal relationship firsthand. I think it's great.
Oh, yeah. It very much really is a great thing. Now, there's been talk over the last couple of years of the hobby kind of dying in the U.S. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know if I'm the right one to ask about that, but I think there are parts of it that come and go. In trains, for example, mm-hmm. I've watched that kind of go up and down. Remote control cars, other parts of the hobby industry, I've seen them go up and down a little bit. Mm-hmm. RC helicopters are a big thing right now,
right?
More so than airplanes. In plastic modeling, I think it's stayed pretty consistent. There are different parts, like cars will drop a little bit and it'll come back up, and aircraft always seems to stay pretty strong. In sci-fi, I can't say I've seen it go up or down. It stayed kind of, well, in our venue, in our area anyway, it's kind of stayed level. It's kind of stayed the same. When a new kit does come out, like the 350th scale Enterprises, we saw a burst in those when they came out. In fact, we had to have one for the shop, so James and Paul did a just off-the-hook beautiful job for the one that we display here in the store.
Yes, we interviewed them at the recent SMA contest.
Yeah.
And they were talking about what a beautiful job it is. And again, it's on the community showing what such mm-hmm. a beautiful ship that is.
And thank you for doing that. I tell you, this has been a joy.
Cool. Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Hopefully we didn't take too much out of your time today.
No, pleasure.
Like I said, hopefully we'll get a chance to do this again. And we'll take a couple minutes and film some of your cars here. And we hope that you'll be able to come back and talk to us again someday soon.
It'll be my pleasure, Chris. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you. And again, this was Mark Batson, the hobby manager of the Great Escape, Spartanburg, South Carolina. So if you're in Spartanburg, come check us out. And we'll see you later. All right, here's one of the cars we were talking about in our interview with Mark Batson. It is the Days of Thunder number 46 Superflow. Now, this car is entirely scratch built, and it has won a first place at the 2005 IPMS USA Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. There are some incredible parts here, and some of the things that we've talked about when looking at this car, we swear we can smell gas fumes around it. one of the details, added details, is if you notice the sunglasses on top of the roof there, and some of the great scratch built parts that are part of this. Okay, another one of Mark's cars we were talking about in our interview, the David Pearson car. Again, there are a ton of scratch built parts in there, and this car has been covered by Scale Auto Magazine, won the NNL Nationals in 2007 in Ohio, and it is a very impressive car. We're going to zoom in here.
You said the main gear? Okay, I'll write it down.
All right.